Alright guys, welcome back. So today's workout is a strength one. It's an upper body. We've got the timer running, but it's just there to keep an eye on how we're going through, getting through our old school sets and reps. So what we're looking at today is what we call couplets or little pairings, so a pair of exercises. We're keeping everything pretty much to upper body, but we're going to hit the upper body, primarily upper chest and our shoulders a fair bit in today's activity. So we're going to try and do something that is complementary, not what we call the agonist and antagonist, or the prime mover and then the muscle that is the back end of it, so like a back and biceps for example, or a push and a pull. So we're going to try and keep them all to pushing movements, but try and make some of them slightly different so we hit the muscle group a little bit differently. I'm not really a bodybuilder by any stretch of the imagination, but doing a strength workout every now and then is good. I'm actually still sweating. We've done inside, nothing outside today. It's even though it's warmer out there, but it's good just to stay in here a little bit, and also to, when I do fatigue, I don't want to drop the weights and have the dogs running around as well. So simply as this, we're going to go for 3 sets of each of the pairs. You're going to take your time. You're not going to bang out the reps. So therefore I want you to pick weights that are challenging. In my case, the dumbbells I'm using are 25 kilos or 55 pounds. The bag that I chose to use today was a 25 kilo power bag. You can also use a sandbag. You could also get a couple of bags of sand, $7 at Bunnings for a 20 kilo bag, and you can put, you can take one and just use it as one bag for 20 kilos, or you can halve it subject to what your weight is. And then the kettlebells I use are the green ones, which are 24 kilos. So the way the workout works is this. You're on the floor, laying down on the floor, and you've got dumbbell presses. So simple neutral press, just straight up, straight down for a set of 20. You're then going to come up onto your knees now, and we're now going to hit the upper part of your shoulders and your traps by using our power bag. And we're simply going to do like a hip toss, like you would do if you're using a battle rope. But in this case, we're going to simply sit up high. So we're going to push up through our glutes, push our hips forward. We're going to grab our bag to the side, and we're just going to simply go across and back is 1. So I've got to keep my shoulders back, and I'm simply hip to hip. After a while, you're going to find it's going to burn the shoulders. So again, slow it down. If you have to stop, set it down, get back up, push through the hips. But again, chest proud, shoulders back. It's a burner. That's the combination. Dumbbell floor press for 20, kneeling power bag, hip to hip toss for 20. Cross and back is 1 rep. Number 2, we're going to bring out the kettlebell, and we're going to do what we call a gorilla row, or if you can't do the gorilla row, which is basically alternating, then you're going to simply do bent rows. So the first one is we're in that gorilla position. So I'm here, I'm at the hips, my bum is back, my chest is down, and I'm using my hamstrings. And from here, I'm going to simply row 1, put it back down, row the second. If you're good with it and you can handle the weight, then the gorilla row is your alternating. Boom, boom, boom. So like pistons in a car. Okay? From there, you're going to take one of those kettlebells. Again, we're going to go into a kneeling press. So we're going to come into the floor again. We're going to push our hips up. We're going to get that kettlebell to the rack. You're going to take this shoulder, the hand that has not got the kettlebell. You're going to put your arm out. You're going to show me the inside. I want to see your armpit. You're going to pull that shoulder back. You're going to squeeze it in. You're going to squeeze, what we call radiate. So we're going to squeeze that in. That tightens up this side of the body. So this side, I can then focus on my strict overhead presses. Again, I'm going one hand at a time. So there's 10 on the right, change over, 10 on the left. Using kettlebells, be careful. Smart watches, smart devices, don't bode well with them if you don't get the kettlebell in the right position. So again, that combination, gorilla row for 20, kneeling row, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. And then our final one, we got a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued. We broke it down, but we still did the combination, but we did it a little bit differently. We went and sat up onto the box. In my case, milk crate with a 15 and a 5. Get to my legs at the right position. You'll see from my seated ones, if you see the video on Instagram, I sat down a little bit too low, and therefore I had to pull my feet back to keep myself upright. And it's dumbbells here, and it is simply up, rotate, and back. So starting in neutral position, overhead press and down. We're only going for 5. We are now fatigued. After all that stuff in the seated press with no momentum, no leg drive, no hip drive, that 25 getting it up for 5 is more than enough. Getting our 5 presses, coming back down, then you're either going to do 5 double bicep curls, or you're going to alternate 1 through to 5, and you're going to get 3 sets of that. That's it. That's the workout. It's a strength workout today. It's not so easy, although it's easy on paper. You pick the weight. You pick the weight that works for you. Pick the weight that challenges you. If you need to drop the weight down, you drop the weight down. If you don't have dumbbells, if you don't have power bags, find something. Find a heavy ball. Get that sandbag, that $7 sandbag sitting over here. It's 20 kilos. I could use that for everything. I can sit on the floor. I can grab the sandbag at the top. I can go side to side. All right? If it's too heavy, drop half the weight out. I've still got a 10 kilo, or I've got 2 10 kilos. I can go 1 on each arm. I can then use them for curls. I can take one bag, my kneeling press, and I can press from here, and I can press overhead. Just because I use weights in this, and I'm not one of these cardio bunny jumping around Zoom classes, there is always a way that you can find a way to do these workouts with a weighted activity. Look around the house. Spare bricks out in the backyard from the house when it was built. And even with me, my house is over 100 something years old, and there are still bricks in the back of the yard. An old clay tile, a bucket, fill the bucket with water, put the lid on, gaffer tape it up, bang, there you go, you've got your weight. There is more than one way to do this. You don't need an excuse. You don't just need to do a workout where you get sweaty Betty, cardio bunny and jumping around and yee-haw. There's nothing wrong with you to sit at home and still get some weighted activity. It's good for the muscles. It's good for the ligaments. It's good for the tendons. It's good for the joints. And it is good for you. That's it, Don McStraw signing out. I need to vacate. It's my daughter's turn to use our little home studio. Cheers.